A few months ago, my oldest son and I picked out a puzzle to do together in the efforts to curb his boredom while being home from school due to sickness. He had never done a puzzle of that size before, and it had been quite a while since I had done one as well. He quickly became frustrated with it as many of the pieces were really hard to figure out where they fit in the larger puzzle. I kept telling him that it would take time, but we would figure out how they all fit together eventually. Carter ended up giving up for a while, but Esme joined me when she got home from school, and Carter jumped back in after a bit of a break. Slowly but surely, we got the puzzle finished. And when those last few pieces were fit in, we sat back and admired the full picture. Life is often like that experience that we had with the puzzle. We can get frustrated in moments wondering why we are going through something or how it could possibly fit into the grander purpose for our lives. But often there does come a time where we can look back and we can admire the fuller picture. The frustration or difficulty that we faced finally makes sense, or we see how maybe it served a purpose to get us to this point at least. And I can't help but think this must be how Joseph felt in chapter 45, when he becomes overwhelmed and can't stand being quiet any longer. All the things that he had been through, good and bad, had led him to this moment. He was able to look back and see the full picture, understanding that it all had a purpose. The emotion of being reunited with his brothers and knowing that God had been working everything out all along was almost too much for him. Seeing, knowing, and understanding the full picture, the reasons why everything happened as it did to save not just the lives of many strangers, but also his own family, was like seeing the full picture when a puzzle has been completed times 1,000. He could have blamed his brothers or been upset with them, but instead he offers forgiveness, reconciliation, and shares the grander picture with them. Joseph shares how God had been using every moment to get them to this place. He was able to do this because he was able to step back and look at the fuller picture. I know it's hard to do this when you're still in the middle of it, but the next time you find yourself frustrated, questioning things, or not understanding how it all fits together, remember that there's more to the story. There's more at work than what you can see or maybe even fully realize. Have hope today with the understanding that God is at work putting together all the pieces of a grander picture, a grander story, and a grander purpose than what you may know, see, or understand in the moment. Where in your life do you need to just trust God with the process and the details? Where do you need to step back and believe that God holds the pieces and is fitting them together for your good and the good of others? Take time to reflect on these questions, then turn them over to God and allow Him to fit the pieces together for you like only He can. God can take anything and turn it around for good, so stay hopeful and trust the process.